everybody. It's Ross Skorjevsky, the host of the Dr. Patrick Flynn Show. It is another beautiful Tuesday here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, as we come to you live from our studios at our corporate office in Green Bay. And joining me once again for the next 30 minutes as we dive into your world, answering all questions that regard business, personal growth, and even health concerns. And I get to do this for the next 30 minutes with this man, another bald-headed, gorgeous-looking individual, Dr. Patrick Flynn, also known as the Hormone Whisperer. My brother, how you doing?
It's doing fantastic, except for the weather sucks.
Dude, you know what it's supposed to do tomorrow morning?
Snow?
Snow.
Yes.
Rain
Yes.
with snow mixture. Hey, this is Wisconsin.
Up north, you have to enjoy the snow. You have to embrace the snow. It's like for, if you live in Minnesota, even though the Minnesota Vikings suck most of the time, you have to embrace them.
Hey, you're stepping on toes now here, Jack. I'm the host of this bad boy. I'm going to steer this sucker right into the ground. The Vikings are actually doing really good this year. It's because we took out Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to hear about it. We didn't take him out. So anyways, yeah, it's supposed to snow tomorrow.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. And but things are constantly changing, not only here in the great state, but also changing in the wellness way.
Yes.
Beautiful things, constantly great conversations. We had a beautiful last couple of days. You're always talking about personal development and growth. And man, we just even spent the majority of our morning today.
And it's tough, isn't it?
It's not always easy. No, it's not. But
that's one thing about personal growth. What does I got an email about this? It's not the email questions.
Yeah, it's not for
I
today.
don't even know what the questions are today. So it's kind of funny. They kind of hid them from me and stuff like that. But what happened is they asked the question, what is personal growth? Basically, it's like this. Personal growth is looking in the mirror every day. So do this tomorrow morning. Or do it right now. Well, after the show.
After the show.
Walk up to the mirror. And number one, when you look in the mirror, are you happy with who you are?
Right.
You saying? And that could be everything.
Not based on looks.
Well, actually, I take it back. I take it back. But see, no, we're going to, no.
Come
no,
on.
no, no.
Are you really going to?
I'm going to tear him up today, dude. I am just in
All
a
right.
mood.
He's in a mood.
It's a training day today.
Here we go.
No, if you look in the mirror, so now, once again, all of you people that don't like the way you look, which is just about every woman on the planet. So what happens is, so let's set aside the looks, okay? But remember, if you get up in the mirror and you don't like what you see, even looks-wise, guess what happens? Be content where you are in life because this is where you are. Be happy about it, but you can always get better.
Yes.
And see, so what happens is, but if you wake up tomorrow morning and you get up in the mirror and you don't like the way your life is, it's your fault.
Because what are you doing to actually change
That's right.
that?
And so what you got to do is you got to sit back and go, okay, I'm content where I'm at. Content does not mean satisfied.
Correct.
When you get satisfied in life, you're going to go downhill. And so the idea is personal growth is nothing more than be able to look at your mirror every single day and say, I was better than I was yesterday.
And it's not easy, though. I'm going to be honest with you because doing life with you guys
since
April, there's been a lot of restructuring of the way I approach viewing myself, my skill sets being brought to the table, and there are some necessary endings that have needed to take place and continue to do so when it comes to developing who I am as an individual that brings skill sets to this company.
Personal growth will only cause relationships to be destroyed. Never heard me say that, have you?
Well, no, because in the stuff that we read, we talk. Absolutely, yes.
Because the minute you start getting better, people don't like it when you're better than they are. And most people are never working on themselves. So if you start doing anything positive for yourself, it's why if people even start eating better, you're like, what, you think I'm better than you? Yes.
Yes.
It's like, well, this is a tough one when it comes to moms. It's like, there's moms that criticize my wife because we don't eat anything non-organic. We don't share those things away. And they're saying, are you a better mom? Yes. I know. I didn't start the show. Remember, you can always just push end to the thing. You don't have to watch it that way.
Yes.
But the idea is this. Yes, because you give your justification. If you have to justify emotionally or defend what you do in stupidity reasons like, well, the Snickers bar is okay every once in a while. It's called junk food. How good is junk? It's really funny.
Right.
Junk your car up. Throw crappy oil in it, throw crappy gas into it. You never do that because you take care of your car, better you take care of your kids.
Exactly, and that's a good point. Even though we're on this little personal growth track right now, everything that comes back to everything that we put out from the show really comes down to challenging the way that you approach your life. Period. Whether it's healthcare, whether it's personal development, or even business questions, it all comes back to you, your perception, and what you're willing to do to take control of the outcome. If you don't like it, it's up to you to change the result that you either are going to get or not going to get.
It's not your mom's fault.
No.
It's not your ex-husband's fault.
Yeah.
It's not your ex-wife's fault. It's not your wife's fault. It's not your husband's fault. It's you.
Absolutely.
And see, that's the part. And so, you know something? Every day I get up in the areas that I want to change in my life, I don't blame Christy. I
Sure.
don't blame my kids. I blame him.
Yeah, it's all my
I blame
fault.
myself and stuff like that. So, anyways, on that note,
So let's get ready to dive in.
in.
I know it wasn't my fault, but I want to take a moment and just say thanks
Thank
for
you.
taking the day, this little
mom's
noon
on.
hour. Hey, Mom, how's it going? But thanks for joining us. Continue to like and share. Continue to go to the bottom of the screen, whether you're on your mobile device or your computer, and share this live episode with your friends right now so that they can jump in along and be a part of the information
Yes.
that is being given out. If you guys have any questions currently, put them in the comments section,
Yes.
and guess what? We might just stop what we're doing because we're about to ruin the style and the fame. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, we might actually respond to one of your questions if you put it out there. So, what's up?
I want to say hi to Angie. I saw her
Hi.
yesterday. She's awesome. She's got 4 kids. Great husband. Super people that way. I always like seeing her. You see, Janelle. Hi, Janelle. Hey, guys, remember, the Woman's Wellness Way Women's event is coming
Yes.
up on November 4th. So, like I said, if you're in the Green Bay area, we have an amazing pamper you kind of event that way.
Celebration
Dr. Jason-
Church.
Yes, we rented out, once again, we
Yes.
rented out Celebration Church to have a wonderful event. We had great speakers. Sherry Tenpenny's coming. Dr. Mitch is speaking.
Yes.
Dr. Mitch is here in the studio right now, so he's giving a little
Should we
kudos
do
there.
it?
What's that? Get the old Dr. Mitch? Yeah, it's Dr. Mitch's symbol. He
Yes.
gives the
Shooter.
gun symbol. Boom. So the cool thing is this, yes, Dr. Vicky will be there.
Yes.
Dr. Vicky's an amazing doc down in Fond
Ashley
du Lac.
Balls is on as well.
Ashley, you want something?
What's that?
Ashley has some balls.
Come on.
She does.
now.
Her name is Balza,
Balza.
but she has balls. She does because she's actually. She's gonna love this because
know.
I like her post because
Yes.
she's a mom that won't back down.
Correct.
She's actually people are attacking her on Facebook,
And she's
I'm
very
always on her fence
intentional with her
because
message.
she's actually her message saying, "Listen,
Yes.
she posted a couple things about vaccines, and I watch even people that know her attack her. I'm like going, you even know that? You see what I'm saying?
Speaking
It's
of, though, just- I
love
wanna-
Ashley. Ashley, keep it up. You're awesome.
Personal development, personal growth. When you take control of your thought process and you stand up for what you want, guess what? People aren't always going to like
Even your
what you
friends and
stand
family.
for.
That's why I say to people, when you start growing,
Yes.
you start doing something and not following the herd like a sheeple. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
It's like I tell people, most people act like sheep. Well, instead of being a sheep, be a sheep herder.
Yes.
Do you understand? And get them to go in the right direction. That's our job. That's the job of the show, is to get people going the right, get their thought process. Just don't walk around going, bah, I can't even do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't even do it.
How
He
was
can
that?
sing.
Was that
That's
pretty good?
That's fantastic.
Well, that's not singing.
But see, I'm the herder, so he's the sheep.
Are you going to give me CPR if I pass out?
CPR. What movie? Come on.
Come on, I don't remember the title.
Just go with it.
Just go with it.
Sandler
Adam
movie.
Sandler, yeah.
CPR. She was the black sheep of the family, even though she was white.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
funny.
right. Holy.
Okay.
Hey,
anyways, watch
squirrel.
this. Squirrel. But the point is this: like Ashley does a great job that way.
Yes, she
and Stuff
does.
like that. So it's like, Ashley. I just want to say publicly, great job, Ashley Balls on there. She does. I'm actually just honored to be your friend, and you got a wonderful husband and Gary that way. You got awesome kids and stuff of that. So I said, congratulations, you're doing a wonderful job.
There is a question we need to ask you real quick because
What's that?
I'm wanting to make sure that it is. Is Dr. Patrick's microphone on? Are you not able
It fixed it. Because
Ah, they
Dr.
fixed
Brenda,
it.
thank you,
Yes.
Dr. Brenda, yes, it's right here. Sometimes I get a little excited and I back off too much from
That's
there.
all right. I can handle your excitement. It's a beautiful thing. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's
Don't we have a
dive in.
question?
2 of them. Emails that have come in today. So
I thought you
let
said we had one question.
No.
You set me up.
Hey,
interesting
you know
today.
what? I've just taken you back to that time when we did the training in Traverse, and I'm like, dude, what are we talking? What are we talking about? You're like, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, good point.
So anyways.
Punishing me.
Hey, man, here we go. Email number 1. Hi, Dr. Patrick.
Yes.
What is with all the young girls getting boobs so early?
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
My niece is a few years older than my daughter and turns 8 in November.
Okay.
Excuse me, me. My sister said she is already showing signs of puberty. I thought I had years before I had to worry about that. My mom says it's because of all the hormones in the meat. Is she right? Should I stop feeding my daughter meat? Do I need to worry since this is happening to my niece? Will it also happen to my daughter? They are related. Thank you for your response, Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously, no joke. Having daughters, I go extremely serious now and stuff like that on this. Understand this, guys. If you go back in history, even 50 years ago, the average start of menstruation was between 15 and 16 years old. If you really look at biblical times, this is not a joke, and historically, so, because one thing I like about the Bible, it's like you said, once again, they got great documentation there, but also even our history books that way, is most people were married and sometimes, having children right after menstruation. Do you imagine if your daughter had her cycle at 10 years old, like
Which is happening
300,000-400,000 years ago that way? See, what happens is menstruation by nature, even 56 years ago, and I'll pull up the link because what happens. One thing I want to do this, and I do this very, very intense. When we talk about personal growth and talk about growth and even understand healthcare or anything that way, have documentation what you think about, okay? So if you go back in history, the average menstrual cycle started between 15 to 16, sometimes 17 years old. So when they became a woman, they were almost in, quote, adulthood. That's why, for example, women were having babies at 17, 18 years old because that's when they finally menstruated that way.
Sure.
So therefore, what has been the change that has happened? And here's what happens. Let's go back to this. Our genome has not changed. This whole idea of genetics controlling this aspect is ridiculous, okay? Once again, that's why I said my daughter's related. Guys, listen. Genetics are there for a purpose of keeping your body normal.
To support life.
To support life.
Yes.
When you're born, it's a genetic pool to actually make sure that it gets to a normal state. And for example, and if there is disruptions during development, you can see some changes. I don't want to call them deficiencies like trisomy 21, Down syndrome. There's a gene change, but you can live healthy even with a gene change that way. Your lifespan might not be as extensive that way, but you can still live a very healthy life that way.
Right.
So here's what happens. If you come back to what is possibly going on, you have to look at all the things that now can trigger genetic responses, trigger that to develop it much quicker. So when they talked about the meat, okay, this is so well known and so documented, but it's not just one factor. If you look at this, and I no joke, guys, I want to thank Lori Rogney for example, this past Saturday, I spoke at a women's symposium. It was unbelievable. Those ladies were awesome. Thank you, ladies, for having me. It was great. The only thing I don't like speaking at women's symposiums is because their men aren't there. And the biggest thing that happened was I wish my husband was there to hear this.
I'm sure.
But trust me, spending the time with them was unbelievable. And it was about, they had a lot of breast cancer there. There actually was even medical organizations there that were talking about breast cancer that way. And breast cancer obviously is an all-time high. And we give medicine credit and we think we're moving in the right direction because survival rates are a little bit better.
Sure.
But they never ask why. You see them? And then if you look at, for example, they start blaming genetics. It's your grandma's fault. And then you are actually, this has worked so well with patients and it's worked so well in politics. When you play the victim, then you actually look on the outside to blame everybody. If my life sucks, well, then government can come in and fix it. If it's my genes, then only medical doctors come in and fix it with their care. It takes the responsibility of the patient out totally. But this person, Stephanie, is it?
Yes.
Asked a great question. When they start to alter things and they start to add things into the cows as far as hormones.
Yep.
Well, now, if you eat that hormone, which, for example, just because the cow grows
at a quicker rate. That was the only reason why to put this into their systems, right, is to increase the growth rate and the mass of that.
Do you want to hear something really funny? And if you don't understand nutrition, we're going in a rabbit hole, but this relates. We only get to one question, but this is a great question. Do you understand, go back 200, 300, 400 years? The only people that ate muscle meats were the peasants, the slaves, and things like that. Do you know why? All the organ meats are the delicacy within an animal. A king wouldn't eat a muscle meat. That's peasant meat. But because it can be mass produced, it flipped. And now if you talk to a young person today about eating organ meat, and here's one thing, guys. Here's the hilarious part. I actually had a vegan. Story. It's true. You talk to a young person about eating an organ meat, they're freaking out.
Yes.
Yet we all know this. We sat at grandma's with liver paste.
Yeah.
We sat at grandma's eating the heart, kidneys, liver, tongue, and chicken soup. It's not a joke. Okay? But here's the funny part. So it moved away to mass production. So the culture, the farming industry got people to shift away from organ meats. You know why? You couldn't produce them at a high rate as the amount of muscle mass. And they said, wow, now instead of grass feeding them, we're going to grain feed them, which is going to make it more. And that's why if you ever notice, your highest expensive meat is not based on its weight. It's based on quality.
Yes.
We've moved away. Do you understand? It's the only industry that we moved away from quality. Do you understand? Your cars get better every year and the food system gets crappier every year. It's about speed. It's about taking it. And that's why we've allowed this culture to accept that our foods suck. People say, but Doc, healthy food's so expensive. Do you ever ask the question why why crappy food is so cheap?
Right.
Because most of it's not food.
Yes.
Okay? So now, once again, I told you I'll bring it back. I'm actually learning to bring it back. Okay?
Bring it back. Bring it on back.
So now what they did is say, how can we now get that animal to be larger? How can we get that animal to actually weigh more so I can sell more?
And as quick as possible.
So they started to introduce things into animals for them to actually grow faster, hormone, and then guess what it does? Man, guys, think about this. If you ingest those hormones, guess what you're going to do?
You're going to alter your...
You're going to alter your hormones. And you now, and remember, and I taught about this at the Women's Symposium, which it just blew my mind. And guys, please do this. I'm doing my Secrets Revealed series. I did one on estrogen. I can't believe how viral it went. It was awesome. Most women have no clue how many estrogens they have. They think estrogen is a hormone. No, estrogen is a term for multiple similar hormones. And therefore, most women don't even know what they are. And they're sticking these growth hormones that are causing women's estrogens to go up higher than they're supposed to.
Sure.
And it's inducing, guess what? Maturity faster.
Puberty at a faster
Puberty
rate.
faster.
Yep.
So can the meat do it? Yes.
Is that the only thing, though? I mean, because
No. I was getting there. Because then what happens is we're gonna get sued by the meat companies. Now.
Sure.
Okay. No.
But that's
I
not
want
the
everybody to sue
only.
us, so here we go.
Right. That's not the only thing she should be potentially looking at, because there's so many other triggers out there that could
Now,
be also.
I will give you an opinion. Remember, I will always state an opinion, so you know I'm not pushing as fact.
Right.
Facts are something that will be documented well, but this is documented. But I'm going to say this is my opinion because I'm going to say this is my belief, and we can argue about my belief, but we can't argue about the fact I'm going to produce. The fact is, I think you should never eat a non-organic meat. It's poisonous.
So you're not saying go away from meat, period. You're just
No, get some
consider
good-
the source.
Oh, get the source.
Yes.
Go get your good local organic farmer and actually go buy half a cow. It's cheaper.
Yes.
It's more. You know what your source is. You can ask them what they feed the cow. You can ask them what they do with the cow. Okay, but let's go here. Do you know it's well documented? So you say, Doc, so if there's an introduction to hormones into any food source, guess what happens? It can induce things, actually even induce early pregnancy, or early fertility.
puberty. Yep.
Fertility. I'm off on this one.
That's right.
No, early puberty. Do you know where the number one area that everybody, male and female and child, comes in contact with hormones that can induce a lot of problems is? And here's what happens.
Are you saying this as based on like where they come in contact, like environmental, or
Yeah,
you're saying?
let's say environmental, where they come in contact with it. It's not meats. You know what it is?
I want to use the S word, because I
that?
know soy, because I just think it's a bad trigger.
No,
for,
soy is actually a phytoestrogen, and that's a whole nother show. We should probably do
Right,
just
right,
on
right.
soy alone. Don't eat soy, plus trust me. Now, you can eat some fermented soy, just so you soy freaks don't freak out about this. Fermented soy can be really healthy for you. Non-fermented soy, non-organic soy, poisonous, okay? But here's what happens. Well documented. You can go look this up on WebMD. You can Google search it. It's quite a thing. The number one source of hormone introduction to the human body comes from city water.
I'm just going to say water, but then I'm thinking of plastic bottles because of my experience.
City water. Yeah, we'll tell a story about that. City water. Do you understand, guys? I went out to see my awesome sister. I have two awesome sisters, okay? And my beautiful sister, Natalie, out in Spokane. And we went by the river, gorgeous river. Guess what was right next to it? The water treatment facility.
Oof.
And they're sucking in the water and they're cleaning out the way and they're pushing it back in the system. You know what's really funny? When we drove by it, I said, listen, there's no filtration that when a woman that takes birth control pills takes a pee, it goes into the thing and it gets recycled back
And there's no filtration for the hormones.
to remove the hormones. That's why, no joke, guys, filtration is so important, okay? I don't sell filters, okay? I just want to make that clear. You know what, dude? But I will put the link of and actually I have to give my friend, Stephanie Dufert,
Yep.
who, for example, this woman has been crucified, and her son, if anybody knew what she went through personally that way, having a son that I met had more anaphylactic allergies than any child I've ever met in my life. And this woman has to fear a dog coming to the farmer's market when she's trying to get good food, because why? Because the child is so allergic to dogs that he could go into anaphylactic reaction that way, and they criticize her.
Sure.
Really? Honestly, do you see what I'm saying? And she just said, hey, and she was just and they criticized her, okay? And they crucify her. But thank God she's strong enough that way. But Stephanie actually gave me a wonderful, and I investigated the company because even though I trust Stephanie like crazy, I still look in the company. I'll put the link of probably one of the best filtration systems. And let me say this. I don't get any money from this filtration company. I want to make that very clear.
Yes.
My advice I'm giving to you is to provide you with the best information and product.
Correct.
Okay. So I will share a link with you. You can call them up. You don't even have to tell them about me. Trust me, if you tell them about me, I don't get anything back from it that way. But what I'm trying to do is tell you that without proper filtration within your house, guess what happens? Enjoy everybody else's hormones.
Sure.
Which can now induce puberty. Now, yes, soy, other things. There's multiple things that can drive up estrogen levels. And the only thing, and surprise women, the only thing that changes, that causes you to go from young child to young adulthood, is those estrogen levels start to come up. And if they're forced synthetically and introduced in your body, your gene system will respond to the environment, and now you actually induce puberty, and there's no going back once it happens.
So really, on all levels here, we're looking at this issue. Boobs are getting bigger earlier in girls. Truth. Okay.
Yes.
The niece is a few years older. All right.
Yes.
The mother was right.
Yes,
By
mother's
saying
right.
that the meat source is possibly the issue due to the hormones that have been injected into that animal.
Yeah.
Right. So once again,
valid.
change your source of meat. Don't have to eliminate meat altogether. Right.
No, find a good meat source.
Right, that's
Chicken,
because she
fish,
did ask,
pork,
should I
everything.
stop feeding my daughter meat? That is not what is being said. Change your source.
Yes, change your source of meat.
And do I need to worry since this is happening to me? Now what you're saying is no, this is not a genetic issue.
No,
At all.
remember, your genetic process, for example, is actually meant to you to menstruate at a certain time
Sure.
that way, and it's not 8 years old.
Yep.
Now, but they're wrong. If your cousins, both parents do the same things, you might have a similar reaction that way. Do you understand? Because do you ever notice, and this is where it's kind of where I can always throw things off. Do you know there's people that eat crappy all day long, smoke every day, and live to 100 years old?
Absolutely.
There's people that come in contact with secondhand smoke and get cancer. See, what happens is this. I tell people, don't do either. You know what I'm saying? Because number one, you don't know how your genes are going to respond. You really don't.
Sure.
But your genes are trying to get you to respond to live the longest and best there is.
Yes.
And that's what happens. You're not genetically programmed to go down. When they convince people that, they now set you up that they're the saviors.
Would the next step for her possibly be to seek out a Wellness Way doc to have an educated conversation about all potential sources on a nutritional level that could trigger, hormones rising? Or because right now she's fixated on meat.
Yes.
And that's not the main issue, because as you said, there's water, there's potentially soy, as we talk at another time, and all these other avenues that really could influence your body's response in creating.
You ever think of this, guys? I mean this very, very sincerely. If you currently right now, heart disease statistics are all-time high. Currently right now, cancer statistics. I mean, Dr. Jacques did a great job Monday night explaining that child cancers are all-time high. Every disease that we have out there today is elevating on a rate every year, even if it's micro increase, like let's say by thousands or like hundreds of thousands, but every disease process is on the way up. Mm-hmm. Now, why is that? Because we're dominated by a system that is into disease management, and they may be able to keep you alive a little bit longer, but man, do you understand when we were kids, type 2 diabetes was called adult onset.
Sure.
Now
Yes.
kids at 2, 3-year-old have insulin pumps and actually have taken shots that way. Because why? Because our culture has changed and our habits have changed.
Yes.
And now that dictates that. If you don't have a different doctor guiding you, which one do you want? Cancer, heart disease, infertility, diabetes, massively overweight, on depression medication. Which one do you want? No, my doctor is really smart. You will end up in the same stats like everybody else.
Yes.
Why do you consider a doctor smart because he went to school? Honestly, we know people that went to school and they're stupid as a brick. Do you see what I'm saying? You wouldn't even trust them with anything, and they're highly educated. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
It happens all the time that way. What is their lifestyle they're living? What are they doing? Guys, and I mean this, check out your Wellness Way docs. This is not a sales pitch. Do you understand?
Yeah, not at all.
I see some of our docs on there, like Dr. Vicky. Oh, Dr. Jeremy. Dr. Jeremy and Vicky are amazing people.
Yes.
Dr. Kelvy and Dr. Kaylina, who are on, they're absolutely fantastic. I would take my daughters to them.
Yes.
I would take, if I pass away, I know that Dr. Jason, Mitch, all the other
They'll
docs
have
here,
continued
Jesse,
great care.
Greg, I'm not worried about that because I know when they're in good hands. The sad part is most people are not in good hands.
Yes.
They're in hands that are going to lead them down to an avenue of illness. Doc, I disagree with you. Okay, how are we doing statistically? Do you know at that women's symposium, I think I made everybody mad. I'm
Why is
happy
that?
about that. They say, Doc, no, they posted on Facebook, liked you. Yeah, but trust me, You should have seen some of the daggers I was getting.
Was it because they haven't heard this message years ago, or that the medical system has lied to them all these years? Why? Where does the anger and frustration come from?
It changes their perspective. If I come along and stuff like that and say, hey, listen, but see, if I just give an opinion, but I don't do that. I start to tell them a story and build up, and then they go. It gets them. They struggle inside, and when they struggle inside, they lash out.
Yeah, this isn't a once upon a time. This isn't a fairy tale. This is potentially giving people action steps to actually experience a different result, a different outcome, and being educated and taking control of your own life.
Oh.
What?
I got to tell you somebody. And speaking of up north in Tomahawk, there's a Dr. Bobby Joe. Okay. She's there. Doc, how's it going? Amazing doc. She got up and spoke first. She knocked it out of the park.
What'd she talk on?
Actually, she did an amazing job of actually explaining chiropractic and actually where it came from, what it did, and why these people need to see a chiropractor, and how the chiropractors are the best doctors to handle stress.
Which you've been saying all along.
Actually, believe it or not, BJ Palmer said it all along.
He has.
I just came along and watched our profession change, and then, because remember, most people, what they do when they're excited and they have nobody pushing against them, which is AKA called college. Let me say it again. You college people, shut up. Just shut your pie hole because you haven't done crap. Do you want something? No joke. You can't be critical of me if you're in chiropractic college. You know why? You haven't done crap. I kept my mouth shut for 16, 17 years and busted my butt and created something that no one else did. Now you have to listen to me. And the only reason you won't, because I challenge you. Now you know you have to listen to me because I've done something you haven't.
And you can back it up.
We live in a culture that we think that we have an opinion that matters. College students, your opinion doesn't matter. Shut up, okay? I'm taking all college students. You haven't lived life at all. And see, what happens is people get excited in college because your safety net is still there.
Sure.
And then guess what happens? College is done.
And then you get out in the real world.
Do you understand? They enter the real world and they're like, holy heck, maybe I should have. And then guess what happens? So most people in college, even the good college students, because there are great college students out there that have a heart to change the world, but then they get out and they meet resistance and then the world change them.
Yes.
I promise you, thank you, Lord. I do not know why, but guess what happens? Not only have I started that process, every wellness way across the country are those kind of people. They're world changers and stuff like that because they're willing to stand up in the face of massive criticism and giving them good information. And that's why, for example, I'm so proud of everybody in the Wellness Way. I also want to say hi to Aaron Walton that's out there.
Hi, Aaron.
Aaron and Christian are actually one of me and Christy's closest friends. But Aaron, for example, is actually finishing up on my Hormone Whisperer book that will be done at the end of the year.
Nice.
That was a secret that nobody knew.
Absolutely.
It's going to be, so we're going to be launching our Hormone Whisperer book that relates to my seminar next year. And it's kind of cool.
So, once again, really, us doing this raw, unscripted approach, even though we have these emails and we go off on rants, is really, truly dedicated for one purpose, and that is to inform you, to educate you, to get you to think differently in all aspects of life. But, today in particular, when we're looking at the issue of hormones and puberty and the onset of it at an earlier age, educate yourself. There are things that you can do to begin to, not maybe necessarily reverse, because once the process is started, but definitely go to twwclinics.com.
Email us.
And email us as well. You can, with any question that you have, you can go to Ask Dr. Patrick at twwclinics.com. You can put them in the comment section here. Continue to like and share as we go on this journey. Because sharing this, what it really does is it really activates the purpose of why we're doing this, and it puts it out there into other people's hands to also do what you're doing. And that is to just listen to truth. And then what you do with it and what they do with it is up to them. But that's why we do this every day, is to put that out there for you. And we're going to do it. We're going to continue to do it. We have some great questions that are going to be coming up next week, especially because we are just now really 1 week away from Halloween. So next week we're going to be talking about...
Holy crap, we're going to be dressed up too.
Oh, that's what you think.
We're going to be dressed up.
I'm not going to be dressed up.
If you're Wellness Way, you better be dressed up. I love dressing up. My mom has beat that into her head. But anyways, I know we got 30 seconds left.
So so next week we're going to be talking a lot about sugars and healthier.
Are you going to tell me the question, or are we waiting again?
No, we're going to wait until the next time. It's kind of payback. This time is for real, baby. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful day here at the Wellness Way. It is a beautiful day for wellness, for us, and hopefully for you as well. So we look forward to talking to you next Tuesday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you for letting us into your world. We'll see you then.